come to the kill point in the room of a most beautiful and very high-end design. You don't want to blow it, but you're not so sure about how to end your wall covering with such big pieces in the pattern. Granted, these lemons are 8 inches long. Very hard to hide them when you're doing a kill point. What's the kill point? Well, it's usually in a corner, but not there. And so the kill point is going to be in the center of your screen. Quite a challenge. And that is where old meets new. And old meeting new needs to create the illusion of matching. So here we are. This is what we have. Okay? Now, if you made a boo-boo and your old is dry, here's a solution. You can plaster over this with drawn compound, sand it, and leave this here. And simply take a new piece, put it on there, because obviously it's got to meet the adjacent wall, right? So if you blew it and this is dry, you can put a new piece on. And then you just hide the edge with a reducing drawn compound application. When I say reduce, we're going from one level to the other. And if you slide your finger across here, you'll feel a ridge right there. And so we need to reduce from here to here. And you do that by taking a 6-inch knife and putting compound over it. Like so. Okay. How do you like that? Not too good, right? Now, when we do this, we're looking to join colors and objects. Our first consideration is the big object. We got this lemon. You see this? Not too cool. We would need this lemon to come over here, wouldn't you agree? So what would you do? One way is to get yourself a lemon. Get yourself a lemon and start thinking about how you're going to connect it. Well, here's my lemon. Now, already, you would agree that looks better, right? Check it out. Look at the green line on my moving lemon. Look. Can you see that? Can you see the moving line there? You see this line here? Look how it meets up. Not too bad, right? I like that. Okay, so we take into consideration what's around our lemon. And we certainly want to cover the lemon underneath it if we're going to use the idea, right? Because otherwise it would be stupid to do that. And we don't want to be stupid. A little reminder, lines do not have to necessarily flow into each other. It would be sufficient that this green line be connected at least to the other line. We can envision in real life the stem of a piece of fruit bending off. It doesn't violate the mind's sense of what's right and what looks good. Now, I don't know about you, but I like that so far. I like that. So why don't we together make that lemon work? Why don't we do that? I got some not so nice remarks lately on my YouTube channel. I'm feeling a little brokenhearted. Some guy told me, "You're not funny, you're a little weird." So I don't like to respond nastily on my YouTube channel. So I thought I would give him an appropriate response. Oh, by the way, for those of you who are saying use an X-Acto knife, Advice noted. Thank you. Thank you for that advice. Not being arrogant, I appreciate your advice. So he says to me, I'm a little weird. So I said, you're just jealous. A little weird. How do you know what I am? You can tell by watching a video, man? That's pretty cool. If you can tell that I'm weird just by watching a video. Oh, goodness. Truth of the matter is, I'm not weird. I just acted. Alrighty. Looking beautiful. Looking gorgeous. Oh yes, it's true. It's true. And you know it. All right. Oh gosh. Very challenging. Very, very challenging. Very challenging.
As you can see, there is no set rule for this artistic technique of what I'm doing here. What you're looking to do is to avoid any human eye from being drawn to your kill point. That is the objective of the kill point, joining the beginning of your wallpaper project to the last of your wallpaper project. And so don't feel that you can't take a cutout, literally cutting out, just like an art project, of a big lemon like I have in my hand there, and putting it where you want it. You can do a lot with a big lemon. You can cover those little fruits that may not fit in there. You just cut them out and put that lemon there. As long as that lemon is generally at the height of where the other lemons are, generally, it doesn't have to be exact. You'll know what looks good. Now, in the rest of this video, I have had to edit it very, very much because I tried different things here. As you can see here, I'm moving that lemon around. It just didn't go with the rest of the pattern in this small area. But I left it in here. I left some of the things that I did. You might see during this video as I edit it, things that looked like they were going to work, but at the final end of the video, it was taken out because it didn't look right with the rest of the pattern. Right now, that lemon looks fine there. But at the end, what I did was, and I really loved it, I wound up putting another sheet where you see my hand, and I brought it to the corner, to the left of my hand, and I cut the leaves that extended beyond the corner. I cut around them so that the leaves would stay, and I brought them onto the adjacent wall, which is adjacent to the wall I'm working on right now. And it worked out beautifully. So let's get back to the audio and see how we go about this. I had to speed this up to spare you wasting your time out of respect for the people who watch my video. But this fake out took a while because I am a perfectionist and I want to go through it as I'm cutting through this thing. I eventually abandoned what you're looking at. I didn't like it, but I just want to show you why. Okay, so the bottom there looks good with those two black leaves in the bottom left corner of that wall. That's fine. Even though up close, I didn't like the way the edge was looking. Okay, I'm cutting around the flowers there. At the end of the segment, you're going to think, hey, that looked pretty good. But I'll show you why I scrapped it. So I'm trying to make the flowers there look like they belong together, right? Okay, pretty good job of cutting that out. Now we want to get that bottom flower out. See how I hold the paper down and I cut it? You can do that without an X-Acto knife. Okay, now let's take a look at how the flowers look after I flap this back together. Get that paper out. How does that look to you now that we've cut that out and joined it back together? Doesn't look too bad, right? It looks like it can go there. But still, look right above the two white flowers. It doesn't look natural. You can see it above there. It just doesn't look natural. So I opted like a fanatic to get a better appearance. I don't want geometric shapes on a beautiful pattern like this. You know, like hard angles, triangles, and it just didn't look right. And so when you have all of these round pattern pieces, like flowers and fruits, you don't want a straight line cutting through a flower. Would you agree? Let's go back to the audio for a moment and see the progress.
You guys, how do you like it? What do you think?
Okay, right then and there, you see the two white flowers under the lemon? I couldn't get it any better. Now, from entering that room, you'd never see that. You and I are looking at it up close and I'm pointing it out to you. But I'm telling you right now, you'd never see that. And this is when you get out your artist brush right there and you put a little white paint in there. No, I don't like it. Spencer doesn't like that. And that's how I look at it. You see, I love hanging wallpaper. I'm not just here to make money hanging wallpaper. If I were, that would stay. That would stay. Go get a little white paint, put it in there, and go have lunch. No, people are going to be looking at my work. And I want to leave them with the impression that this is, this is actually more than I would do in my own home. It's the truth. I don't want to leave that sort of an, you see, that is actually where a lot of people would stop. And that's no knock on anybody else, not at all. But I wasn't happy with it. I wasn't happy with it for those two flowers. And if you look right there where I have my smoother going, right above the two black leaves there. Even though we're up close, the camera is only 15 to 20 inches away from the action. You're right on top of it. I just figured I could do better. All right? So I did, and that's why I sped up the video so that you can pick and choose what part of this video you want to look at. But I want to show you what goes into the fake out sometimes. Generally, a fake out that is 36 inches long will take me about half an hour to figure out. Minimally a half an hour. But when you have a bunch of connecting things, this is easier. round objects, leaves, that's a lot easier. But when you have a geometric pattern, oh boy, half an hour is nothing. You now have to join straight lines, and you have to make them look right when they're running parallel. And you have to, different angles, it has to match. And it's a lot harder to hide a geometric pattern than it is for this. That's obvious. Now what I tried to do, because I didn't like the part that I just talked about, was I attempted perhaps to cut out that whole area right there, you see, and put another piece over it. This didn't work out either. But to be fair to my viewers, I wanted to show you that it's not always a quick fix, a fake out. And so I tried this. You see how I'm putting that in there? Just to see, I'm going to switch it around, rotate that. I liked the 3 white flowers in the middle. And that's why I was trying to work this out. And, don't kill me for trying to make it look perfect. But this went into it, and I scrapped this plant. But from a distance, that doesn't look too bad. And now that I'm looking at it right now. But again, cutting around that lemon, it introduced too many odd things underneath that patch that just didn't go. And so we scrapped that. So I began to try to integrate this patch into the pattern, cutting out that pink leaf there. But although the 3 flowers right in the middle, which is what I tried to keep, that was the reason why I chose that patch. Although that looks good, I wasn't crazy about the way the rest of it fell into place. Those 2 flowers right there, where my hand is, that they didn't meet, that didn't drive me too crazy. That wasn't it, Don't forget, a fake out is not meant to be perfect. It can't be. It's not, doesn't match there. It was the other objects that just didn't fit into place. As you can see, the leaf right under the lemon, right there again. It just, what is that thing? It just doesn't fit. Now, I may have gone too far with this, perhaps you could say. But this is what went into it. This was the day before Thanksgiving 2020. My customer had her beautiful family coming over. And this house is just beautiful. And you know what? I wanted the people to come in here and see the best of Spencer Colgan as wallpaper. My third attempt was to do what you see in this video right here, this part of the video, this clip. And on this part, I just wasn't able to get all of the matching pieces on the overlap patch with the underlap. And so, of course, I scrapped this. This is why I'm speeding this up. But I tried. The next frame will show you that I just took an entire piece of matching wallpaper of the wall that you're looking at and simply overlapped the leaves and the fruits that you see on the left side of this wall into the adjacent wall. So here is my final attempt to make this right. I went to a larger piece and I decided to eliminate this whole piece underneath it with a new piece that matches. In other words, I'm replacing the wallpaper that belongs there, but I'm going to slow down the speed on the next frame. Here we are. You see how the fruits are extended? The flowers you see on the left edge of that sheet I'm holding? That's what I was looking for. You see how you can just go onto a separate table before you bring it onto the wall? You see, you can't see it there. That's why I slowed it down. That white flower that you see in the corner there, and the green fruits underneath it, I decided to extend them onto the adjacent wall because that happens in nature. Leaves cover fruits, right? Right there where my hand is. Those leaves are flapping over to the next side, and I realized that's the look. That's what I was looking to achieve. Because it didn't look right on the straight ahead wall that you're looking at, straight ahead in your screen. The adjacent wall to the left needed the pattern to be brought onto it in order for it to look right. And you'll see in the final frame how beautiful it came out. I ask your indulgence for the length of this video. It is not necessarily meant for you to watch the entire video from start to finish. Unless you're completely new at this, you can skip the video as you see fit. But I put it in there to show you the lengths to which we sometimes have to go to make it look right. Now, you can sit there and say, I could have done this in half an hour. Well, good for you. I choose to show you that even professionals are going to have a difficult time sometimes with these big pattern matches.
You want to make your corner blend in? Leave the pattern attached. Okay? Get very creative. Do what looks good, okay? Look, we have overlapping fruit. What do you think? Doesn't a flower overlap a leaf? Don't we see that in nature? Yes or no? Right or wrong?